Oh, I'm
shit.
excited. I'm really excited to do this. Right. Introduction, I guess.
Oh, just wait a minute because sometimes there's like a slight like cut off at the start, so just wait like a minute and
Okay. I'll
then
wait
we'll
till it
begin.
says a minute. We can
Yeah.
get our excitement and that out while we wait. Oh man, I've been waiting to do this.
Been waiting 2 weeks. This is the only thing I've been looking forward to for a long time. Okay. Okay, I think now it's good.
All right. Uh, Daniel, would you like to talk first?
I don't know what to say.
Well, welcome guys. This is SFM Plays and Stay in Position, and in this we say podcast, more like live stream of us just chatting shit. We are going to be talking about Joker 2019.
Yes. Oh god.
Could hear
There's
the
like
excitement in
there's
this.
like a slight echo of my voice in your mic. Don't know if that'll
You know, I
bug
can turn my mic
anything.
down.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Ah! Much better, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, I just turned my mic down.
I
Right. So we have some things to go. Or we have a list of things to go through in an order.
First of all, let's
You
just
have
say
you have the order.
we've been waiting to watch this for over a year. So we're not just doing this because it's popular and it's trending and we want views. We've been waiting a year for this fucking thing. Oh, and we watched it and it was worth the wait, definitely.
It was. I mean, I didn't have the opportunity to have the first experience in cinema, like Daniel did, but I watched it off a website, but I couldn't wait to see it, so I just had to. So I watched it on a website, and the quality was okay. So I actually had a decent experience. But I then watched it in cinema on my 11th time watching the film, um, and it was a great experience. Seeing it on the big screen for the first time ever.
You've probably seen it like 15 times. I've only watched it twice, and both of them are in the cinema. The first time I watched it was on the 4th, or was it the 5th? I think it was on the 5th, yeah. It was on the 5th. And then the second time was today on like the 19th. So
I've
it's been like two
seen
weeks later, and I've watched it again just to get
I've
fresh in my
seen
head. Plus,
Joker
I just
12
wanted to watch
times.
it 12 times.
I've seen it 12 times. I've seen it 12 times. So and I've watched loads of videos and things. So yeah, we're gonna go through some stuff in this video. So first of all, we're gonna go over the overview or overall thoughts of the movie. So I think Daniel could tell you his overall thoughts of the film.
I swear it's always white people that do podcasts anyway. So overall,
This is one of those.
Joker 2019. Joker 2019, it's the best film of the year, best film of the century, and personally, it's just my favorite film. And I've seen you discuss it's your favorite film too. It's just it's everything I wanted. But
Well, it
I don't know
it's
what to
it's my
say
favorite
overall. I
movie too.
fucking love it. It's just it's perfect. It's my favorite, one of my favorite fictional characters, my favorite uh, DC character. Having his own solo movie where it's fucking dark, and it takes inspirations from two really cool, good movies. Which I guess we'll get on to trivia, but you know, King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. great movies incorporated into one with the Joker with a dark tone. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted.
Well, it's your excitement. I when I met, I think most people, when they heard there was going to be a Joker solo movie, they all had their doubts. I'm sure you did as well, Daniel. Um, especially when it came to casting, and who was going to play, the Joker. And then when the reveal trailer was released, the very first, it was like a short 30-second clip
We'll
of
probably put in
Joaquin
the like a
Phoenix
clip
just
because not
stood
many
there.
people have seen it.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't have that many
yeah, I'll
views.
put it on.
People have
I've
only
got it on
seen
my
the
phone. I'll
trailers.
just put it on.
Yeah.
And it's literally a short 37 clip. You'll see it on the screen. And they released that, and from that moment on, I thought, okay, this guy looks the part. I wonder what he's acting like, because if I'm honest, I never heard of Joaquin Phoenix before Joker. Um,
I've
I'd
seen him
never
in a
heard of him
few
before.
things, like in Gladiator, um,
Yeah, he's in
and in
Gladiator,
one other
and he's
movie.
also in
I forgot, but
uh,
The Master
yeah.
or
But like
something
I
like
say,
that.
I never heard of him before, and then Joker. Um, but honestly, first time I watched it, I fell in love with the movie. The way Gotham is shown in the movie, it looks like it honestly looks like how Gotham should. Like you see in the Dark Knight, and films like that, because obviously Bruce Wayne is obviously the main protagonist of the film, um, and because you only really see his side of it, Gotham mainly looks to be the sort of rich, expensive place. But because you're looking at Gotham's underbelly this time, and sort of the poorer parts of it, you really do see, Gotham's true colors, as Heath Ledger's Joker said in The Dark Knight.
I heard they did a show about it. What's it called? Oh, Gotham. Yeah.
They did a show about Gotham. Called Gotham.
Yeah.
But
What I've noticed is that it is shitty because there's like I don't know notice, but you probably have because you've seen it 11 fucking times or 12. I mean, but at the start when he's like making that fucking smile on his face, like in the background you hear the like TV say of like there's like bin men are going on strikes and the rubbish has been piling up and you can see that throughout the movie, especially at the start when he's like climbing up the stairs and you just see bin bags everywhere, just full of shit. It's so
yeah,
Gotham-like. It's a piece of shit.
it's a shithole, but it's their shithole. You know, and I really just love how, and if you also notice, you may not have done, you may have, in the scenes where Arthur is Arthur, and he's walking around, it's everything's all dark and gloomy, and then when scenes where he's generally happy, aka his fantasy where he's on the date with Sophie, or where he's actually dancing down the stairs as the Joker, or running away from the police officers. He's like the colors like are a lot brighter, more vibrant, showing his happiness. And that he's actually, like he says to his quotations, mother. He says, "I've never been happy one day in my entire fucking life, but now it shows that he's actually happy being who he is." Is that a bit too much insight?
I don't know how much we can go into it because how much of it is going to be overall. Because like some of this we might include in theories or trivia or something. I don't know.
Well, we've gone over the overview, I'd say. Would you like to move on to how the media accepted Joker?
Well, I might say one more thing in overview, and that's um just Joaquin's performance he is Arthur Fleck.
Oscar.
Like
Oscar.
Oscar winning performance. Fuck yeah.
Like, no joke. No, I saw a thing on I think I sent it to you. It was a comment on a YouTube video, and it was Joaquin at the Oscars, and then he says to the lead person who does the Oscars, when you bring me out and to give me my Oscar, can you introduce me as Joker? I thought that
Oh
was
yeah.
quite funny.
I
We
saw
should
that on
totally do that.
the final trailer. It was like, oh yeah.
Just don't collect your trophy and then kill the person who gave you the trophy.
It's too good for the
Then again, that'd be
Oscar.
quite
They
funny.
should make a new fucking. They should make just one higher
It's
than
not
the
that
Oscar.
Joaquin. It's not that Joaquin doesn't deserve the Oscar. The Oscar doesn't deserve Joaquin.
Exactly. It's too good.
Like, he better steal it from Robert Downey Jr.
I heard he backed out.
Oh, did he? Oh, I
I
didn't
don't
hear
know.
that.
That's what I heard from someone else, and I forgot who that other person was.
So someone did say, I did read something where a fan said to Robert Downey Jr., "Get you an Oscar," and he said, "No."
When was this?
This was like just last month,
Okay.
so not too long ago.
Like, who else
But
is gonna get
yeah,
who else is gonna get the Oscar?
there's not really been that many good performances this year, if I'm honest. This film has been this year has been pretty bland for movies.
I mean, Endgame came
Apart
out.
from
I haven't
what?
seen it, but
And
surely there's got to be
I'd
some
say
acting in there.
the top three films of this year were Endgame, It Chapter 2, and Joker.
I still haven't seen it, Chapter 2. I still need to see it.
It's okay. It's not as good as the first one. Well, I'd say they're about on the same level,
I mean, a
actually.
couple good movies came out this year, like Shazam and
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, Shazam came
I
out.
actually watched that
Came out.
Spider-Man Far From Home, which is weird because I haven't seen
Yeah.
any other Marvel movies. I haven't even seen Homecoming, but I saw this one. I actually liked it.
Oh no, I like Far From Home.
Yeah. I haven't seen Homecoming
Anyway,
yet.
we're
I probably
we're
won't
supposed to
watch
be
it.
talking about Joker now. We're talking about Marvel movies.
We're just talking about movies in general and who's going to compete with Joaquin's Oscar, so we haven't gone too far.
Nobody.
Yeah, that's our answer. Nobody. He's getting the Oscar.
Like, unless they give it to a porn star, which I doubt.
Ricardo. Ricardo's the only person who could compete.
The meme guy. Right. Anywho, should we move on to the media reception?
Yeah.
Right. So, would you like to explain, or would you like me to explain?
I mean, I'll try to, but I don't know too much about it. But
You didn't really read too much into it, but I sort of looked at a few articles and what
I
people
briefly
say.
know what it is.
Right. Go ahead.
So apparently the media doesn't really like Joker that much because it might cause an uprising of incels. And yeah, people might blow up cars because Joker told me to in my dream. And fucking old people might go, fuck life, I'm gonna kill Robert De Niro in his sleep. That's why I know. An uprising of
Well,
incels. So sad.
It's stupid as well. Like, right, here we go. I've got a couple of news articles up now.
You can send them to me on WhatsApp and I'll have a look.
Hang on. So basically, what people were saying, is because, obviously, if it's nature with gun violence, obviously, I say gun violence. He literally killed four people with a gun, and that was
Yeah, but let it grim. I'm not
Murray.
gonna lie.
That
It's graphic. Like the knockback of when he
Yeah,
got hit by the gun, and I don't know. Maybe it feels real because in
I
the
agree.
cinemas it was
It
loud as fuck and it felt real, but I don't know.
Yeah. Um. Actually, yes. This is you. As I say that, I scroll past a news article. Hugh Grant complains about unendurable loud volume while watching Joker.
Fucking pussy.
Love it or hate it, the Joker movie presents a tempting fantasy. So basically, they're saying what the Joker does in that movie is tempting. So I am so tempting to kill fucking Robert De Niro, is it now?
Uh, he wants to
Do you know
kill
what?
Robert De
Fuck it.
Niro.
I'm a kill Robert De Niro banter.
I
It's
mean,
it's stupid.
I know, Meet the Focker should never have existed, but come on, he can't kill it. He's a lovable guy. I'd smash him.
Terrified fans are walking out of the Joker early as the brand new film is too scary. Terrified, the Joker fans are walking out of the dark and sick new
Well,
movie
then they're
because they're
not
too
Joker
scared.
fans.
No. And the thing is, right, I'm going to read a comment that I saw on the Google Play Store for the Joker movie, for its pre-order. And obviously, you can't comment on the Google Play Store, but I left a nice little note on Snapchat. Some of you guys may think I'm a douchebag for saying this, but I defended I went against what he said, and I defended my point of view. I put, reading reviews of Joker, fucking idiots like this who don't have the mental capacity to go as in-depth with the character as others. Fucking simpleton. He said the film is bad, not even funny, not one bit, but don't take under 12-year-olds to see it. I put, not funny. He is a failed comedian, for crying out loud. He ain't gonna be funny. It's about seeing the mental state decrease of a man who lives in a broken society which affects him mentally, physically, and emotionally. And for fuck's sake, if I see one more goddamn person say, don't take your kids to see it, or like this person said, don't take under 12s to see it, it's a fucking 15. It's a film about a psychopathic killer. It's not My Little Fucking Pony Sunshine Magical Cunts, is it? No, it's the fucking Joker. So you're right, don't take your kids. Even if you did, they can't get in. As mentioned, it's a fucking 15. That is what I said, and that is how I defended
But
Joker.
I have a feeling he was trolling. There's no way are you that stupid. He's probably trolling because everyone else is like that. I just have a feeling that's a troll.
But to be fair though,
Because
some
no way
people
is
are
someone
that
that
stupid.
fucking stupid.
I always see people say it though. So if
I
they're jumping
avoid
on a
that shit
trend full of
because I
idiots,
just don't want to see idiots. I like to pretend they don't exist, even though I am one. Ah,
like, it honestly, it just bugs me how people don't have the mental capacity to understand the film on a level others don't. And I get some people may not like the film. Maybe some people manage to actually understand it and still not enjoy it. And I get that. You know, it's not some people's thing. You know,
I just
when
want
I
to say
went with
one
somebody to
thing.
see the film, well,
They fear what they do not comprehend.
exactly, that's what people fear. People fear what they don't understand, and they clearly don't understand the movie, which is why they don't like it and they're scared of it. They're scared of his appearance. They're scared of the way he comes across in the movie. You know, it's nothing to be scared of. It's literally, excuse me, things like this happen every day in the real world. Go on Best Score. You see loads of things happening in Mexico, different countries like that.
Africa, people getting
Africa,
whipped
for
because they
example,
stole
yeah.
chickens.
Okay, that's kind of racist, but
Flashback,
you get the
flashback to my
idea.
geography class. If you know, you know. Yeah, go on.
I know. Um, but you know, it just really bugs me, you know, that people, you know, this sort of things happen in the real world. You know, people need to be a little bit less sensitive and just open, you know, and, you know, think, you know, it's a movie for adults. If you're clearly not mature enough to watch it, I'm 16. I watched it. There were 30-year-olds walking out of that movie. You know,
Were
if
they?
you're not that mature to watch it, yeah, there was like 30-year-olds, 30 year
I,
old parents.
I mean, no one walked out of the theater when I watched it twice, but
Oh, I was when I watched it in the cinema the other day. There was a woman. She was like 30, 40, and she was sat there screaming her head off every like not crying but laughing every time the Joker killed someone. I was actually a little bit worried for her mental state. Um, but I mean, to be fair, I laughed as well. So, um, it just bugs me how nobody understands. But that is what the media thought of it. The media thought it was too scary. Media thought it was too violent, and the media didn't. It wasn't received well. But for its opening weekend, making $92 million, that's not bad for its
it's almost
opening
right
weekend.
now. It's almost at 1 billion. I think it has gone over one
Oh
billion.
yeah, oh yeah, it's gone over 1 billion now. But on the opening weekend, which was on the from the 4th of October, 92 million, which is very good for an opening
This
weekend. It's been one of the most. That and Endgame are the two most anticipated films of 2019. It won't beat Endgame, of course, because Endgame is now the most uh like it's made the most money at the box office.
Well,
It's
Endgame's more
beat the record.
popular. It's because like everything's been built up to this, and
It's obviously because
personally, I
people do.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen Endgame. I haven't seen many Marvel movies. So I don't understand why people would like to watch it. But I can, I I don't understand, but I can see why. That makes sense.
It's because whenever someone thinks DC, they think bad movies, bad script,
They think
bad
of Jared
writing.
Leto.
They think of
I'm so
movies like
glad that Joaquin
Suicide Squad.
Phoenix did this shit, because like before it, no one before anyone knew about
It was
Joaquin
gonna be
Phoenix's
Jared
Joker,
Leto.
when people say, oh, when people bring up Joker, they think, oh, Jared Leto, oh, he was awful, Suicide Squad, oh, awful.
It left a
But now that
bad
Joaquin
taste
Phoenix
in
has
many
done
viewers.
this, everyone's gonna think of him, and they're gonna think, oh, he's a fucking badass. I like him. He's a good Joker. Joker's a cool
You know,
character.
yeah, and it's good that it's like when Heath Ledger did it. Everyone thought, oh, Heath Ledger, what a guy, what a guy, and then you got some dickhead singer come across and just fuck up the whole
He's
role.
a singer.
Yeah, he's in the band 30 Seconds to Mars, which I listen to.
But he's shit.
No, he's actually a good singer. I'm not gonna lie. I see that. I'll give him credit for that. Shit actor. Actually, tell a lie. He's only shit as the Joker. He's in a film called Panic Room, which is actually really good. He gets shot in the head in it though. Um,
Do you
and
know what I
then
like? I've seen him in
what?
one other movie, American Psycho,
Oh, what? Because he gets axed to shit
by Christian Bale.
by Batman.
Bateman.
He's also
Patrick Bateman
in.
fucking kills Joker. It's amazing. I want to put that clip up now. It's fucking amazing.
He's also in. I can't remember the fucking Dallas Buyers Club. And he plays a gay, like transsexual or something, or
Never heard of it. No.
yeah, it's an okay film. It's got Matthew McConaughey. Anyway, we're talking about other films. We should be talking about Joker. But technically we was talking about Jared Leto, and he was the Joker, unfortunately. Right,
Yeah, but it's nice to go off
next
topic
topic.
a little bit because it's good. It's good.
Nice conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, favorite scenes. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think the favorite scene isn't obvious. It's literally the entire film is built up to this one scene, and that scene is obviously the best scene because it's been built
Your
up to it.
list your three favorite scenes
Three favorite scenes. Okay,
in
so
in in ranking order. In ranking
in
order.
order, second and third is gonna be hard to rank, but favorite is the Murray Show, which who
Yeah.
saw that coming? It's amazing. It's a huge build up to it, and it's Joker's moment. He's the star of the show, as they say. and
I
just
wanna be the star of the show. Sorry, Jeremiah moment.
it's just yeah, hashtag Jeremiah, and like just seeing it, it's so intense because you thought he was gonna kill himself, but then he doesn't, and he decides to kill Murray, and I like the dialogue in that scene. It's so fucking good.
I also have the
Like
full clip
it's
if
so
you want to throw
jokery.
some of it up when
I
you
do
edit.
like how he was like imitating Murray. He's like, "What's funny?" and
Yeah,
he's pointing to himself, and "What's not?" and he's pointing to Robert De Niro. And I love that. I love
yeah,
that. Such a good scene. And then
yeah.
when
That's
he
very good.
kills him, that is just it's so fucking good. And then he starts like dancing around, going to the camera. That's life.
Remember, folks, that's live. And then gets cut off.
And
That
like when it
that
zooms
scene.
out, you can see what happened afterwards in one of the cameras.
Yeah, when
Basically, he just starts
yeah, I
laughing and
noticed that when
runs
I
off.
saw it in cinema. I didn't notice it on
Yeah,
the
I
copy, and when
noticed
I saw it
that
in cinema,
today. Yeah, I was like, oh shit,
yeah,
you can hear him laughing
the
too.
police just throw him to the ground.
He gets fucking
I think
tackled.
I think it's because it's the second time you seeing it. Like you can focus more on other
Yeah,
aspects like around
and
and
I've
not just
noticed a
the
few
actual.
things, which I will get onto later, which is interesting. Anyway, second favorite scene, which is hard. It's hard. The second and third, I just can't rank. They're close, okay? So second, I'd say is the one where he danced down the stairs, because it's pretty much the birth of the Joker. Arthur
I
Fleck
swear to
died.
God, if we have the same favorite scenes, because so far they're in
Probably
the
do.
same order. They're in the same order as well
Oh
currently.
God, I wonder what the third scene is. Anyway, but yeah, like it's the bit where he dances down the stairs. You can tell that's just going to be an iconic scene when people think of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and
Oh yeah.
the song with the slow mo of him like splashing on the water with his like fucking jokery grin, with his like skinny jokery body. And you see those two cops in the background all blurred out. You got him just enjoying life, which you haven't seen at him at all. And it's just like I said, the birth of the Joker, which is what
For the
the
first
movie's built
time,
up to,
he's
and what
fucking
everyone
happy.
wanted to see. And it's just such a cool fucking scene. The dance, epic, unironically epic.
And I'm
And
going to
now
that fucking stairs doing that scene.
I want to do that too. It's so fucking cool. And
We should
now
make that a goal.
that's my life goal. That's my only thing on my life goal is to recreate that. I
Right,
love the
okay,
slow mo
that's
in
our
that.
goal.
So
We're gonna
fucking
go
good.
there. We're gonna go there. We're both gonna buy suits, right? We're both gonna go there and we're both gonna take it in turns like recording each other and just recreating it.
It's gonna be fucking cool. But
We're gonna
yeah.
look like proper idiots just dancing down a fucking stairway. Because imagine like this is in like 3 years time when we actually get money to travel abroad and shit, and people are gonna probably have like sort of forgotten Joker by that point, and they could be like, "Why are
No
they
one's gonna
dancing?" And
forget
they go,
Joaquin.
"Oh."
Who's gonna? Whenever anyone sees
They
that
won't. They
stairs,
won't
they're gonna
forget it,
think.
but it will be. It'll
No,
be the
no. Do you know what it
last thing
reminds me
on
of?
their
You know
minds.
the famous Rocky stairs that he runs up on. That's pretty
Yeah.
much gonna be that stairs for Joker. It's gonna be
Right. Would you like to
iconic.
state your third favorite movie?
My
Your third
third
favorite scene.
favorite, which I don't know if it's your favorite too, but it's the
If you fuck, I
part
swear it's gonna
where
fit it.
he at the end of the film where he gets up from that police car crash, puts a fucking smile on his face with his own blood from his mouth, and just turns around with his arms in the air while everyone cheers him on. Fucking love that scene.
Right. Next topic, because there's no point me talking about.
Is that your favorite
You
too?
just yes.
Yeah, second and third favorite, it's hard to decide, but I'd say the stairs is slightly better because it's
Yeah.
above the Joker.
My
And
third, if I had to pick a fourth favorite, it would be the door lock scene.
oh yeah, definitely.
That would be my fourth favorite. That is so funny. That's like both the most funniest and gruesome scene in the entire movie, and it just works so well. Like the
He's
way that a scene
unpredictable.
is
He's
so
so unpredictable.
gruesome,
You don't know if he's gonna kill
the way
him or let him go.
the way that a scene is so gruesome and so like bad and just and it also is funny as well, like funny and comedic at the same time. Like he's taking the piss out of thingy because of his British accent. He's like, "Ain't that fucking weird? Me on the telly, like taking the piss out of his British accent. And it's just, and then he runs to the door and then can't get out because of the fucking lock. It's just so good.
Watching back on the
Like
second time, and when I saw him lock the door, like I don't know, it was like, oh, I
you
know
just
what's
knew.
happening.
You just knew.
Yeah. Oh,
I admit it's not as funny when you watch it another time round.
because you
Um,
know what happens,
but like,
and I keep coughing.
and to be
But when you
fair,
watch it a
to be fair,
second
because you
time, it's not as predictable because you know what happens, but you still don't know what he's thinking and what he could have done.
see, but still on my first time round watching it, I still kind of was looking out for a door lock because you kept sending me pictures uncontextually with a fucking door lock, so I kept looking out for it, and it kind of spoiled it. Because like when I saw him lock the door, I thought, oh fuck, there's gonna be a scene with the door lock. So when he ran to the door, it was funny. I was like, oh yeah, look, look, look. But it weren't like I didn't burst out laughing like everyone else did. And not being horrible, I feel like you kind of ruined the experience on that one for me.
Cool. I mean,
Daniel feels no remorse and just says cool.
I mean, no one laughed in the. I mean, they in the cinema, no one like busted out laughing. They was just laughing uncomfortably because of what happened just moments before that.
Funny. Poopy. Anyway, yeah, so we've gone over our favorite scenes. What's next, Daniel?
Let me turn on my phone. Let's have a look.
I'm
Oh yeah,
asking you 'cause
something I
can
want to
see.
add into the
Yep,
the
go ahead.
podcast is like what they could do for like the future of Arthur Fleck or Joker, and I got a couple of ideas in mind. But yeah, we can do that last. So what's next? Small details slash Easter eggs. Okay, small details. There's so many, but the director was really fucking good at his research. Even
Yeah,
though
it
he
was.
avoided comic books. I don't know. Yeah,
They both did. Joaquin is a vivid comic book collector. A little bit of trivia there, and he stayed away from any source material that could affect his performance because obviously, like if you read something or look at something and you're trying to do something else, and then you try and characterize that. He didn't want to do that, so he tried to stay away from anything Joker at all, like the Killing Joke or anything like that. He wanted to stay away as far away from those as possible, so that his performance would be authentic and new, like
that's what Cameron
his
Monaghan
own.
did. Like he was like during his like filming stuff, he was asked if he knows about Joaquin's Joker, and he said he doesn't want to watch anything about it because he doesn't want it to affect his performance, which is what Joaquin's
Yeah.
doing, ironically enough.
Well, I guess it's the key to a good performance, right?
Well, it's unique.
Exactly. Now, I mean, I did want to quickly say this. It's a small detail, and I wanted to know what your take is on it. When he's smoking a cigarette, anytime he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen? I'm gonna say a normal person. Have you seen a normal person have a cigarette?
No.
You've never seen. So normally, when someone's smoking a cigarette, when they get, you know, where he gets that length of ash at the end of the cigarette and it just falls off.
I guess.
Normally, a person would flick the back of the cigarette or just tap the cigarette so that the ash falls off. So, because normally that ash would fall off onto your clothes and then you get your clothes covered in ash. Well, I thought maybe he leaves it on there because he just doesn't care. Like, and it just shows his lack of care with the world around him and how much, you know, like, just how disconnected he is from reality. You know, that he just doesn't care.
Personally, I don't
I just,
smoke, so I didn't notice that.
No, I sort of noticed it because I tried to. Obviously, I've watched it 12 times, so every time I tried to take in little details that I noticed that could have some. That could, you know, I just wanted to see what your insight was on it. Like, if you agree with me or.
I mean, I haven't noticed it, but I'll take your word for it. I'll agree. I need to like find a way to watch it in my home so I could like just keep watching
I'll
it.
send you the website that I want. I'm not gonna put it in the description because that is illegal, and you guys should not be doing illegal stuff. I can do it because I'm human.
I have human rights, you don't. Okay. Um, small details. Alright, I had one in my head just a second ago. Hold up, give me a second. Hold up.
Dun, 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 dun,
I got
dun,
one
dun, dun.
I got one in my head and I had another one in my head, but I forgot the other one. Let me just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Well, maybe I'll remember it later, but um I don't know if you've probably seen this, but I've noticed while watching it a second time, so you know his gun that he's been given
Yeah.
by Randall, and you know his gun is a revolver, which is a
Yes.
six-shooter gun. And
Yes,
I
I
noticed
noticed this. I
this
know what
the
you're gonna
second
say.
time I was in the subway scene where he murders those people. He shot 7 bullets, and
Eight.
I was like, "Hang on, what? That's a revolver." And yeah, he shot
I counted
one.
8 shots.
The first guy he shot in the head. Second guy shot two times.
Shot twice.
The third guy he shot him in the leg, and then later on he shot him 3 times. 7 times
Yeah.
from a 6 bullet gun.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 times. I counted 8. Okay, yeah, you're right. 7 times.
I counted
Yeah.
7.
See, that could mean many things. Because obviously we know that. No, I don't think. Because I saw something online. People were saying that, you know, the whole subway scene where he killed the Wall Street guys didn't actually happen, but
Bullshit.
that did happen. That did happen because that literally sets in motion most to all of what is happening in Gotham with the riots and the clowns. You know, the reason that the clowns come about is because he killed the Wall Street guys in the subway. You know, so I don't believe that theory at all. I believe that he 100% did kill those
I think
Wall
what it's
Street guys.
supposed to show is that it might not all be what it seems, and he is the Joker. Therefore, he is an unreliable narrator, and everything you're watching is from his point of view or his story to the psychiatrist at the end.
Which,
But
again, if you, obviously you know this, I know you will, they are taking, Todd Phillips and Joaquin took inspiration, not a whole lot, but they did take inspiration. And what Todd Phillips, I saw in an interview, he took a play on the line from The Killing Joke where the Joker says, if I'm going to have a past, I would prefer it to be multiple choice so that he gets to choose his own past. And Todd Phillips thought, okay, let's play with that, let's see what we can do. And I think because obviously the Joker is trying to he's remembering back, and as you say, relaying to the woman in the asylum, he's remembering how he wanted to, and he's telling her how he wants to. So in his twisted mind he's thinking, yeah, I shot that guy on the floor 3 times, when in fact maybe he only shot him 2 times. He shot him once in the leg, and then maybe the second shot hit him either in the right spot in the back to kill him, or in the back of the head. But he just wanted to remember it as 3 times, so he causes more pain to the guy. Would you like to add anything?
No, I just want to point out that, it's definitely not a mistake. Like, they purposely did this.
Yeah, because that's too much of a mistake to be for a film in 2019 to be making. Normally they do their homework. Normally I mean, it's pretty freaking obvious. I mean, you look at the prop gun, which obviously fires blanks, and Joaquin Phoenix is surely gonna say, Todd, there's 6 shots in here. How am I supposed to shoot 7? It was clearly done on purpose.
Yeah. But another detail, I guess we can move on because we've covered that.
Yes. Yeah,
Another
yeah.
detail I've
I
noticed.
ramble.
Um, Again, I noticed this on my second time watching earlier today. So this, okay, it came back to me. It came back to me. I'm gonna say this. Okay, I'll come back to that later. I'm gonna say this before I forget. This has nothing to do with, like, it's nothing. Oh, this could mean this is fake and this. No, I just want to point this out because it's a cool little detail. It's nothing big, but when there's when he's in, he's laughing, with his condition, and he doesn't want
Yeah.
to laugh. He's wants to stop himself laughing. Like, it happens when he's on a stand-up. It happens when he's on the bus with that black lady saying, "Can you leave my kid alone?" And it happens at the start with the psychiatrist. However you say it, where he puts his hand on his chest, and
Yeah.
you hear him make weird noises. He's I notice he's choking himself to stop. So he's literally harming himself to stop
Can I
humiliating himself in public. Which
Can I
I
stop you there, actually? Could I stop you there? People with that disease, actually, when they laugh, I say disease, it's a mental illness. When they have that, when they laugh, they start choking because they can't stop laughing and they can't catch their breath, and they actually do start choking. And that is just okay. Yeah, you could say that he's trying to choke himself to stop himself from laughing because he puts his hand over his mouth to stop himself from breathing
he's got his
again.
hand on his
But
the bottom of his throat, and it looks like he's trying to push into his throat to make him stop laughing
yeah,
because he's
but
humiliated
um,
and he just feels embarrassed.
people with that, they do choke because they can't breathe, and so they start choking, literally, like they start wheezing, choking, just because they can't breathe, because they're laughing and they can't stop themselves. But like we were saying, where he's choking in the film, that is just literally a really good example of Joaquin Phoenix's brilliant acting. I mean, if you look at videos of people with pathological laughter and the pseudoblur effect, I think that's how you pronounce it. It does seem to be very hard to replicate how they laugh, and the fact that he pulled it off so well is just outstanding.
I haven't
It is
actually looked up
really,
any
really good.
footage of it.
Yeah, no, I sat when I first heard about that, which was months ago before Joker even came out. Um, I sat and watched a few videos of people with that, and I sat and watched and just saw, and they're physically, you can see visually that they're in physical pain because of it. It's like, when you're laughing really hard about something and it's just like you can't stop laughing because it's so funny, and you get the pain in your stomach, your head starts to hurt because of the strain you're putting on it. Imagine that, but going on for like 3 or 4 minutes at a time just because you cannot stop. Makes you think, then,
Hmm.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, and yeah.
Well, that's
I
what
actually do
I
agree
mean.
there.
That's what it looked. You're probably right now that I think about it, but that's what it looked like to me. Because like he makes that choking noise, that gagging noise whenever he puts his hand on his like throat. So that's what it looked
Yeah.
like. But then again, you've seen it more times than me, so
Yes. And obviously, I've looked into Sublar effect.
yeah. But it's still like
What
it's
was the?
still a cool
What,
detail that,
it's a
that
very good
he took
detail.
that aboard.
Yes.
It's cool detail on like Joaquin's part that he's a fucking good actor. That's the detail. He's a good actor.
Um. I agree there. What was the other point you were gonna say before you nearly forgot that
Oh
one?
fuck my heart. Ugh. Wait.
You've forgotten the other one now.
Okay. So I remember. I noticed today too. Um. Again, this is just like the last one. It's nothing big, but I just don't want to point it out because it's a detail that I want to point out because it's fucking cool. Kind of, I don't know. But at the start of the film where the I can't say it. I can't fucking say it.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, psychiatrist.
I can't
When
spell it because I'm dyslexic, but I can say it.
when the Black Doctor says to Arthur, "Can I have your book?" You see him getting all like hesitant, and then it shows a close up of his knees, like going up and
Yeah, where
down.
they're bouncing, fidgeting.
Yeah, and that that happens again uh, later on when he's like pretending to be on the show in his own house. You know that scene where he like
Yes,
and
yes.
like he's doing that
I
exact same thing with his knees when he's like sitting there, and he does it the exact same fucking thing after he kills Murray, and he's just on the show looking at everyone with his knees bouncing up and down. And I'm feeling every
that's what I
time he
believe.
bounced his knees up and down, he had the same feeling, but I don't know what that feeling is. Is it nervous, hesitance, anxious? I don't know what. Every
I
time he's
think it
done
may
that,
change each time because now, and this obviously people trying to figure out what illnesses actually that Arthur Fleck actually has. Um,
he
and
takes like
one theory
seven
was that he
medications, so he
has,
might have more than one.
yeah. People were saying that people there was a theory that he has schizophrenia, um, because schizophrenia causes irritability, which is obviously showing him his knees bouncing. He can't sit still. But that could also be a case of ADHD. Now, being someone who has ADHD knows that sometimes I'll get jittery, and I can't sit the fuck still. I have to move, because then I get annoyed and I get irritable and I can't move. And people with ADHD, um, also don't mature as fast as other people. So obviously the scene where he literally climbs in a fucking fridge could shows that he's not mature, and because
He's
obviously
a kid.
he like yeah, and he may also when he's not doesn't want to show her the pic the notebook, because obviously you have the quote, "I just hope my death makes more sense than my life." She's gonna look at that and think, "Fucking hell, this guy literally does just wants to die." Like he's anxious. He doesn't want her to see that. But then again, that wouldn't make sense because, like when he said, "I feel like I was better off locked up in the asylum." In the asylum, he felt better locked away under supervision, where which doesn't make sense because most people don't want to be locked up, but he does.
He feels
And
at home in that place.
yeah, which then could replicate into the comics because Arkham Asylum is where the Joker feels most at home. Obviously, then he tries to break out, but that's not the point. Um,
This actually links to
and
another detail that just came into my
go
mind.
ahead,
We can go back to what you were just saying, but I just want to point this out before
yeah,
I forget. You know how
go
you're
ahead.
saying asylum is where he feels at home. Well, you probably know this. Like I said, you probably know everything I know. But the scene where he steals the folder and he goes down the stairs and he's just looking in
Yeah,
the book. Well, in the
Yes.
surroundings, like the floor, the tube in the back, and the walls, it's all the same color scheme as his Joker outfit, and it's to replicate that
Yes.
his outfit is him feeling at home. So he feels comfortable in his outfit, which is where we see the Joker in his full glory, fully confident, which is pretty much where he's confident in the asylum, and it just makes sense.
Yeah, the floor is red. The walls are like a tingy yellow, which would replicate that, and then the pipes are green, which is his shirt. So yeah, agreeing with what you say. He likes to, which could also then replicate, um, because you know how we said inside Arkham Asylum he feels at home. Well, it's actually Arkham State Hospital in this, but we're just going to refer to it as Arkham Asylum because that's essentially what it is. Um, in when he's in the asylum, he feels at home. When he's in his suit, he's in the suit, which it would act as like a. So say he's in the asylum, it's like a protective force field, a protective layer around him that protects him from all of the shit in the real world. Like what he says to the administrative officer when he's trying to get his mum's records. He says sometimes I don't know what to do. You know, he doesn't know what to do in the real world, and he's trying to convince that guy to get someone to assess him and lock him up in the asylum so that he feels safe and secure away from the outside world. Maybe when he wears the suit of the colours of asylum, he's hoping that it would make him feel at home and act as like a protective barrier around him from the horrors of the outside world.
It's called Dark World, as he put it in his comedian stand.
As he yes, bring laughter and joy into this cold, dark world. That quote.
Okay.
Let me introduce Arthur Fleck for y'all. Arthur Fleck, and then Arthur comes out, and then he starts creasing. Anyway, what was the other point?
Which kind of
Said we'd
makes
come back to?
this also kind of links to which I've actually seen this on YouTube. I haven't noticed this myself, but when he's like walking around as Arthur Fleck, he's all like hunched over, almost as if he's got a straight jacket on.
Yes.
I forgot where I
Yeah.
saw that, but I remember seeing that on YouTube somewhere. And he's got this like fake
Like
limp, but when he's Joker, it's gone. But when he's Arthur Fleck in his like depressed state, he's got a fucking limp, like Oswald Cobblepot or some shit. But as soon as he's Joker,
yeah.
it's gone. So he intentionally puts that there because some childhood drama, trauma, not drama, trauma.
Because what was the other point we was gonna come back to? I really cannot fucking remember it now.
Hold on. Wait. Let's go work backwards. So him feeling at home, feeling comfortable away from the world. Uh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, him with his like, oh yeah, where he's like with his knees and he's jumping up and down with his
Oh,
knees.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, I was saying, because each time he could feel something different. When he's in, the psychiatrist's office, he might feel a bit nervous, a bit anxious, maybe a bit excited to see what she thinks of his journal. Then the second time, when he's at home and he's working out what to do on the Murray Show, you can see the frustration and the irritation in his face when he's trying to work out what to say, because he's grabbing his, pulling it and stroking his head, and he's shaking his head and lifting up, and like doing that thing with his knees. That could show his irritability and his frustration because he doesn't know what to do, and he wants to make sure that it's right because himself on the shot. He's only got one
literally.
time to do this. Literally one. He only has one shot to do it, and he's got to get it right. Like what he says on the Murray Show. I want to get it right when he looks up the joke in the book. And then after he kills Murray, that could be excitement. Maybe he has a little bit of anxiety, anxious. Excitement because he pulled off what
You
he
would be
longed
too
to
if you
do.
just murdered someone who is loved by everyone on live TV. I mean,
yeah, you just think, wow, I've just, like people normally when you think of a famous person, you think of someone who can't be touched. You think
Like
of
Robert De Niro.
someone who, yeah, you think, yeah, especially someone like Robert De Niro. You think they got money. They may have a little bit of celebrity influence. Especially if you're looking at people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and people like that, they have got low. Or if you look at really big actors like Tom Cruise, George Clooney, people like that, they've got a lot of celebrity influence, and obviously on in Joker. When you go Murray Franklin, you don't really go much higher unless you look at people who obviously aren't TV celebrities like Thomas Wayne. Then you look at people higher than him. But like Joker says to him, he says, "Do you actually even leave the studio? Like, have you seen what it's like out there? Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you actually ever leave the studio?" And obviously he kills someone, and he kills him, and he just thinks, this person was like a god to people of Gotham on TV, and I've
Including
just removed him
himself.
as, yeah, to him, he was an idol.
He was his
He saw
idol,
him as a father
especially at the
figure.
start.
He saw him as a father figure, like he saw, like he said, Murray said to him, I would give it all up to have a kid like you. He just shot the guy that he imagined as his father, you know, and he just
That
thinks, wow,
transition from the
I've
start
just,
of the movie to the end. It's that transition from I love this guy to I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm about to end this whole man's career, literally. Um,
Literally.
Literally, because he fucking killed him, so he doesn't work anymore. And anyway, um, but yeah, that is. Would you say that is it for small details, or have you got any more things you'd like to point
I've
out?
got one more. Um. Oh no, this is part of the Easter eggs too, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh shit,
Okay.
yeah, you got Easter
Yeah.
eggs.
Okay. So last small detail. Again, it's just like the ones I mentioned before. It's nothing big, but you know how this detail kind of shows how unprofessional and how like bad and shitty and how uncaring Gotham is. It's the fact that he managed to get on the show with a gun and no one noticed.
Yeah, exactly. That is actually a good point because
I thought of that right
normally
now, actually,
with
but
because I mean even when I went to the 21 Pilots concert in London, um, we got searched when we walked through the door. Like we walked through the door, there was a whole like it was like airport security. We had to go through a big magnet. We weren't allowed any money. You have to have like cash. You have to have like paper like notes, or you can't have coins. Like if you had say £5 in coins, they would cash it up and give you a £5 note. You weren't allowed any coins, any drinks. We had to put in a bin. I had a Lucasade Sport, and I had to down that before I put it. Before I got rid of it. Um, they even took my phone charger until the rest of the night, until we left. Because I wasn't even allowed that. But it just shows. But then again, that could replicate with the time in the 80s. Nobody really, it was security wasn't so big back then because I think it was the 80s, or it could have been earlier. There was a TV presenter. She was a news presenter, and she went into work one day and killed herself on live TV with a gun. So, it was like sort of after that point where people were killing people and killing each other on live TV that they introduced security in buildings. Especially the BBC is a very very secure building. um, yeah, it's very secure, the BBC. You know, because obviously there's like people like celebrities and shit in there, so they got to protect them. Um, but it's a really
gotta protect Philip Schofield.
he works for ITV.
Oh, they're all the fucking same British TV.
He works for ITV, not BBC.
Who's BBC?
He works for yeah, no, he doesn't work for the BBC. He works for ITV.
Who works on BBC that I'd know? Fucking Chase? I
Uh,
don't know.
Hacker T Dog.
See BBC, yeah. I watched that. Last time I watched that was when I was in like year 6.
I used to watch it
Is
on
he
my
still
nan's. Yeah, it
alive?
was beautiful. It was a
Is he
puppet
still
dog, so
making
yeah.
money off pretending to be a dog?
Oh yeah,
A
it's
fake dog.
Hackety Dog and Dodge Dog. Oh,
You know that
it's
fucking
good.
blue bear? I forgot what his name was.
Ah,
They're behaving
I've
badly.
forgotten
Oh
too.
no.
That's the one. Yeah, I used to watch that. Anyway, oh, um, but yeah, you know, and security wasn't, and they also introduced as well back then, like with a live TV show. So say you're watching the news live or anything like that live, they always have it at a bit of a delay, so that in case anything happens, so say someone kills themselves, say they kill someone else, say something bad happens, nobody sees it, and they can kill the switch before everyone else gets the live shot of it. So, that's when they started introducing that sort of thing. Because they didn't know the Joker was going to pull a gun on Murray, which is why every single fucker saw it. If it was at the delay, then they would have cut it and nobody would have seen.
Apart from the live audience.
Yeah, apart from the live audience and the people there, and obviously it would have been in the recordings, but they could have cut, they cut it before it gets to the live TV. Anyway, are we done for details and Easter eggs, or have you got anything else?
That's it for now, yeah.
Right, so we are going to move on to the next topic. We've been going for an hour and a minute now. It's crazy to think we've been going for that long. And the next topic we're going to be looking at is theories of our own and other people.
How about a few like Easter eggs? Because I got a few in mind which you know. I just want to get this out quickly, okay? So the Jerome Avenue thing.
Oh, yep.
In the trailer, like when he's in the elevator, you got the Riddler question mark, which could be Riddler or something. And then
I didn't notice that.
it's in the trailer. Like when he's in the elevator, that guy on the strap bed, like screaming in the background, you see it like a question mark. I don't think it's green, but obviously when you think of question mark in the Batman universe, you think of Riddler. So
You just think, yeah.
yeah, I thought I thought that was intentional, but I don't know. And then one more, which I don't think this has anything to do with it, but it could. So when he gets on that red suit and he goes in like the theater, which all the rich people are watching Charlie Chaplin like skating
Yeah.
around. He's in the suit that looks like the Mask of Zorro, which is what Bruce watched before his parents died, and this is a bit too far-fetched to be honest, but it could happen. If they have Jerome in it, this could work, but he had the exact same outfit that Jeremiah wore in the TV scene where he's on the projector.
Oh.
Exact same
I see what you're
outfit
getting at now.
with like the
I
black
see what you're getting
mask
at.
and his skater, it looks like a fencing sword. He's got the same hat, the same outfit, same color on a black and white TV. I don't know if it's too far-fetched, but if they have Jerome, they could have Jeremiah in it. That could be a reference to Jeremiah. And I thought that could be him, but I don't know.
The Charlie Chaplin modern times thing was recorded in the 30s or the 20s, long before Jeremiah.
I know they're not the same person. I don't know. I've probably said that, but I'm just saying it could be like a reference, like they did with Jerome Avenue.
Could be.
Because it is
And
the
yeah,
same
I see what you're saying about the question mark. I just
We'll try
looked and
get
yeah, it's green.
2 pictures to compare them, I guess. If you can find the that one picture, you can probably take a picture of your site thing. But yeah, just wanted to point that out because I noticed that second time watching.
Anywho,
That's all I have for Easter eggs.
right. What is your theory? Okay.
Can we just get the stupid theory out of the way first? Because it's just
Yes,
one
go.
theory.
Go.
So we
Go,
probably
'cause
have to. We haven't actually
bugging you.
discussed this, but we probably have the same theory. Like, so basically, when at the end of the film where he's in the police car, gets hit by an ambulance, that's where he died. And everything you see after that, he's in purgatory. Is that what you're on about?
Wait,
Is that the
wait.
theory?
Repeat what you said.
Alright, so
I'm trying to
at
work
the
it
end of the
out.
film, where he's on the in the police car and
Right.
gets hit by an ambulance, he dies. And everything you see after that, purgatory. Or heaven or hell or whatever.
No, that's bollocks, and that wasn't the theory I was on about.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's fucking bullshit. There's no way that's I'm telling you, it's bullshit theory.
No,
Okay, two different
it's
theories.
a lie.
Okay, what's your
What my
theory then?
theory I heard was that every single moment in the movie takes place in Arthur's head, and he's actually just sat there in the asylum having a meeting with the woman, and the joke that he mentions, that he says I just sort of a joke, is the whole film leading up to little Bruce Wayne's parents
Yeah,
dying,
I've heard of
but
that
they
one
don't
too.
actually
Yeah.
die. But they don't actually die,
They don't actually
which, you know,
die.
and that was the joke. That was the joke in his head. He was laughing that they died and left Bruce an orphan, but they didn't actually die. He was joking. But that's bullshit. That can't be real.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Well, at least we had
We
two
know he
different
was in the
theories.
asylum already. Yeah, that actually made for a good conversation.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Have you heard of that one though?
But
That he died after that ambulance crash.
no, I didn't hear that one actually. That's a new one.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. I thought of a
Surprised
meme,
I
like, you know, where
haven't.
he's being dragged out of a police car with his, like, fellow clown boys, and he's like, careful, he's a hero, just like Spider-Man 2, like, careful, he's a hero. I thought of that, and I
Well,
was like, oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, he is a hero.
He's my hero, he's my Jesus. Just bring up that picture from Instagram.
That's a bit blasphemous.
Yeah, we got that crazy
Right.
theory shit out the way.
Yeah, because that was fucking bugging me. So we are
Absurd
now going
theories.
to look at the decent theories, ones that could actually mean something. Now, I just wanted to point this out because you sent me the post on Instagram the other day. It was either yesterday or the other day or whatever. It was the clocks, that the time is always the same.
Ah, yes, I paid attention to, today. It's all the same time. Start of the movie, end of the movie,
Every
and the part
clock.
where he walks out and be like, "Oh, I've got to clock out," and he like punches it off. It's all at the same time.
I love that scene. Every time it's the same. That is
11.
interesting. Coincidence, maybe?
No, because it's different clocks, and I think they did that on purpose.
No, what I'm saying
'Cause,
is that it's set at the same, but it's the same time. So they record. So like, so what's the time shown? I can't remember what the time is on the clock.
the arrow's on 11 and the big handle's on 3, so it's 11:15.
So maybe each scene in the film that there is a
Something like that.
clock
I think it's 11:10
is,
actually. I don't know, somewhere around that.
well, every scene in the movie is around that time, whether it be day or night. That could just be a coincidence that they put in, or it could actually mean something.
Here's what I think, and you probably think the same because it's kind of logical. So
Go
I
ahead.
think that that is the current time that Arthur is telling his story to the psychologist. Fuck, I can't say it. The doctor lady at the end.
Psychologist.
The entire film is him telling the story to her, and it's taking place at that time. That's what I think.
That's actually a good
Which
theory,
explains
actually.
why it's it's unreliable because it's him. And this, I thought of this. Do you know why? Do you want to know why you feel sorry for him? Well, of course you're gonna feel
Why?
sorry for him. He's the fucking narrator. Of course he's gonna make you feel sorry for him.
But obviously he isn't always reliable, and some things in the movie
He's the
sort of
Joker.
made me
He's not
think.
reliable.
But like, you got to admit, some bits in the movie made you think, okay, we know people in Gotham are dicks, and we know people in general are dicks, but forsake the instance, the scene on the subway where they just randomly start kicking the shit out of him. Now we know Arthur kicked the guy, but that was only because they restrained him.
Or
Something
maybe
must have
I've
happened.
noticed.
Something.
Uh, After that, when he's in like the club and they're talking about the murder, someone brought up. They say he wore a clown mask. So maybe what happened? Arthur said that to make us or the doctor lady feel bad for him, make him feel like the good guy. Or maybe uh he put on the clown mask, which he has because we saw him have that same clown mask at his home later on in the movie, and he purposely killed them because he doesn't like rich people. So he purposely killed
Yeah.
them, but he made it so that they just randomly start beating him up, which also links to him using 7 shots instead of 6, because it could show that seems a bit not made what it seems.
And that also links with what I said earlier on, where he said, he wants it to be, hit multiple choice. He wants to choose what happens. So he's choosing the situation. He's choosing how many shots he put into them. He's choosing what happened. Also wanna go over something you may not have noticed. You may have. You know how Randall just randomly gives him the gun. And he acts all
Buddy.
calm. Yeah, he acts all calm and all buddy old pal with Randall. It's like,
That's exactly
I'm not
what he would
supposed
want
to
him
have
to
a
tell
gun.
him.
Like smiling.
He wants Randall to tell
Listen to
him he's
this.
his friend. That's exactly what he
Yeah,
wanted to hear. That he has
listen to
friends.
this. But
I think I
after
know where you're
he
going
is in
with
the
this.
children's you may
I
know
know where
this
you're
already.
going with this.
In the children's hospital, after the gun comes out and he's on the phone to his boss in the booth, his boss says, "That's a fucking lie. You asked Randall to buy you a gun." He actually asked Randall to get him the gun, and he remembered it so that it looked like to us Randall just gave him a gun when in fact he actually wanted a gun, and he got Randall to get it for him.
Yeah.
Is that where you thought I was going, or?
Yeah.
See, but it just shows, he's an unreliable, person to listen to. And,
It's the Joker. It's the name of the title. It's Joker. It's unreliable.
obviously pretty sure it's gonna, from the point where he becomes the Joker, it's gonna be reliable from that point. He's gonna remember it, that he's the way he wanted to, you know. Like because if he wanted us to think, it's different, why would he remember the fact that the police officers were trying to catch him? Why would he remember that and show us that? If he wanted to, he would remember it. He was fucking floating down the street like a god. Which essentially with those dance moves, he was floating down the street. And then the police came and got, and were trying to chase him. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that because I was about to say maybe the police officer didn't shoot the clown on the train. Well, actually, no, that actually could work. So here, what I've got to say: the police officer could have shot the clown on the train, and then obviously Murray knows about it, that sort of thing. Maybe he didn't, and the Joker just remembers that he does, and he says that he does to make the officer look bad for killing a random civilian.
Maybe he shot him. I don't know.
Trying to make the police in Gotham just look dirty and
wait, no,
they
because
just
later
shoot
on in the
civilians.
movie, like someone, I think it was Murray who mentioned it, like a clown got killed in the subway, and he was like,
Yeah, but
"Do you know about
remember,
this?" And then Arthur's like, "I don't know about this, no." So I think that did happen. Someone did die on that subway,
I get what you're saying there.
and I think he did shoot him.
Yeah, okay, that actually makes, now that I think more about it, it does make more sense. I understand where you're going with that one now. Okay, debunk that theory then.
Well, I
what
wouldn't say
theories
debunk it,
have you
like
got?
just debunk.
It's a
that
thought.
The
It's a
clown.
thought. Just put it to the side.
Yeah.
What have you got? Have you got anything?
Let me think. There's okay. Obviously, let's go. Here's an interesting theory. Which kind
Yes.
of is based on the whole him narrating the story. So it's kind of the same theory, but one of the scenes. So he's telling the story how he wants it to be, and uh, he after he learned what like his past, he hated his mum, so he killed her. Or did he? Maybe. She died of natural causes of the shock, but he included him killing her in the story because he hated her and he wanted to kill her. So he just included it because multiple choice and he wanted to kill her. So include it in the story because might as well. He's the Joker, right? Might as
That's
well.
the point, because there's no talk of that. There's no talk of that. And of course, when the police officers are chasing him on the stairs and down, that's because obviously he killed Randall, and I really cannot remember the little midget guy's name, even though I've seen the film 12 times.
Oh,
He
is it,
obviously went to the police.
is it Gareth? I don't know.
Garrett, we'll just call him Gareth. Obviously, Gareth went to the police, and obviously, he's not gonna just stay quiet. Randall just got murdered the fuck out of in Arthur's apartment. He ain't gonna stay quiet. He's gonna go to the police. And the police started chasing him because of that. But there's no mention of him killing his mum. But then again, that could also be seen as his mum was dying anyway. So they could just see it as she just died. And not
Exactly.
think twice about anyone killing her, because obviously it's the 80s. They haven't got all the technology where they can actually fully assess a cause of death. They can get an idea and they could get a properly really good accurate idea, but not to the standard of today, where they can actually understand that she couldn't, that she was suffocated to death. you know
Yeah, I think it's
So yeah,
interesting
I agree with
because
that there. I
yeah,
agree with that there. But it's not confirmed or anything like that. So it's something
and
to
I like that.
put a pin
I
in.
like
It's
that it's
something
not
to put a
confirmed.
pin in. Yeah, it gives the mystery of did he actually kill her? It's like with another theory.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
he
I know
kill
where you're going
Sophie
because it
and her
popped in my
daughter?
head too. We had the exact same thought at the exact same time. Did he kill Sophie?
Did he kill Sophie and Sophie's daughter or not? And now, do you want to hear a reason why I believe that he did kill
The
both of them?
ambulance. The ambulance. I know where you're
Yes,
going.
he's
The
in his
ambulance.
apartment alone, cloveless. Why would he be cloveless? Murdered the shit out of her. He's got blood on him. He's obviously taken the clothes off to wash, right?
Well, when he walked out the
Okay.
apartment, her apartment, I didn't see any blood on him.
No, but remember he had his back to us
No, it showed his
until
front too, I think. I don't know.
I think it showed like quite a close thing, but maybe he had blood on his hands and arms of his coat
Maybe.
at the
But I
front.
do
Maybe, I
remember
don't know.
at that scene trying to look for blood, and I do remember not seeing any blood, so I don't know. Maybe he killed her,
Maybe he
snapped her
suffocated them.
neck or something, I don't know.
Yeah, and
But
obviously
why
the
did he take his clothes to
ambulances.
wash? I don't know.
Maybe he just took them off because he felt dirty, like, that he just killed. Because the thing is, he
He's a
was
child.
madly in love with her because he was, you know, maybe yeah, like what you said with the child. Maybe because obviously he's immature. Maybe to relieve stress or something, he just strips. He just got naked. He just sat in his pants. Just reminiscing life, and he was laughing because whenever you notice in the film when he's laughing, and I'm gonna say laughing because of his illness, it's a different laugh than when he isn't, because he's laughing and he laughs at moments where he's either sad, where he's either confused, anxious, nervous, right? Now I'm saying those, right, because he must feel those feelings because he just killed Sophie, which is why he's laughing. Because he thought he was in love with her, because obviously he imagined them dating. He imagined her being there while his mum was lying, unconscious in a coma. He imagined her there for him when she actually wasn't. you know,
And this
and
probably this is why it wasn't on screen, because he liked her, and this is why
yeah,
him killing his mum was on screen, because he included it because he didn't like her, but he liked Sophie,
yes,
so he didn't want to include it in the story, so he just walked out.
and he didn't want to remember. He didn't want to remember it.
Yeah,
He didn't want to say, you know. Um, so that, you know, obviously, and of course he's gonna kill the daughter because she's gonna wake up and her mum's dead. But then again, that's actually a good point because who's gonna call the ambulance?
maybe he did, or maybe someone else did. Maybe someone heard her
Either
scream or heard him
either
laughing.
either Arthur did or either the little girl did. Either one. Either way,
Or maybe someone
she may
walked
have
in and
died.
found her dead on the floor or something. Found both of them dead on the
Maybe
floor
so.
even.
Maybe so. And they called the ambulance, but obviously it's just for the audience to speculate. You know, it's not confirmed and it's not denied.
And I
It's
like
literally
that.
just, yeah. You know, it's our ideas. It's what we imagine.
And it did have like
You know,
dramatic music when he walked out
happened.
of her apartment.
Yeah, it did. Yes,
And the
yes. It was
last thing you
sort of,
saw of her was Arthur pointing the gun at his head, indicating he's gonna kill her. I don't know.
yeah. And what I also think is because when they was in the lift, she put the gun to her head and did the shooting action. Reference to Taxi Driver. I think it's Taxi Driver or the King Comedy. I can't remember either one of
I
those.
think
It's
it's
a
a taxi
reference.
driver.
Yeah, I was right with that one. Reference to Taxi Driver. She puts the gun to her head. Maybe he thinks that she's sad. Maybe he thinks she wants to die. So he felt like he was
Yeah,
doing her a
he's a
service by
child.
killing her in all capacity to understand.
Just like the
He's
media.
sort of like a he's like a sociopath. Now, sociopathic behavior.
Jake Paul.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jake. Oh my god. Oh, no, I wasn't going that way at all. Totally not. But no, sociopathic behavior is you can't understand other people's feelings. You don't really understand, you know, like, like sarcasm. People with, you know, sociopathic people don't understand that, and you know and like when I mentioned, he may have ADHD, so he may be on Ritalin, which could be a tablet he's on, which is ADHD. They obviously he doesn't understand, you know, and he hasn't got the mentality to understand, so he just thinks she wants to die, I'll help her out.
Yeah, because he does have a vision of that actually. As he's going up the apartment, he envisions her shooting herself.
Yeah,
Oh, just a
he's
reminder
obviously
that I should probably end her life because she wants to die.
yes.
And the child doesn't want to die because there's no indication of that.
No. The child does say this building is bad, ain't it, mummy? So, you know, maybe drops her out the window or something. Don't be in the building then, bitch.
Smashes her head against the wall.
Why we
Scissors
no?
to
Don't
the
laugh
eye.
at that. Don't laugh at that. No, it's a little girl dying. Don't laugh at that. Um.
Gets a can opener on her teeth and like pulls it out.
Oh, dude, no.
How would that
This
even
is
work? Can
a
opener. Fuck, I don't
this
know.
is a G-rated thing yet. Anyways.
We're reviewing a film where a guy got fucking stabbed and smashed his head against the wall.
True. Okay, this ain't G-rated, and you know. But anyway. Fucking hell. I'm trying to get my list. Do you have any other theories or anything you'd like to cover quick?
That I don't know if it's like a theory or maybe a detail. I don't know, but like, in theory, okay, it is a theory that he acts like a child because he got abused as a child, therefore he didn't have a childhood, which is why he acts like a child. So like when he imagined himself on the Franklin show, he was like standing around speaking like a child, with the spotlight on him, with his hands behind his back, like a child would, or like he has his like own little diary, like a child would. Um, fuck, I'm trying to think what else where he's like a child, acts like a child. His writing and
Fridge
it's like a child.
drawing
Like he's
smiley faces in
yeah,
his O's and
a
that and
child,
A's,
and like the way
climbing
he
in a
it's like a child would do. Like he imitates
climbing
Moray on a show, like trying to act all like show host.
climbing in a
He's
fridge.
imitating. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if children do that these days, but it's like a child.
I don't know if children do that these days. No, but it's the immaturity level of it.
Yeah.
Another thing is when he's fantasizing about being on the Murray Franklin show. When he stands up. I'm gonna replicate him in real life. Obviously, you guys can't see this. Puts his hands behind his back, like like how a little child would standing all innocently, and he goes, "Hi Murray, I'm Arthur. I'm Arthur." Like he like he says it all sweetly, and then he stands there and goes, he goes, "My mother always told me to smile and put on a happy face." He says it all sweet and innocent, like a child.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if you were talking, to a little 6-year-old or a little 7-year-old. You know,
Like I say, it's just a fucking child.
he has that mentality.
Trying to think of any examples where he's a
It's
child. Acts like a child.
oh, let's have a look.
Just trying to think. Any good examples? I mean, I guess in when he first sees Sophie and he's like, hey, and he like shoots himself. Well,
Yeah, and he
with
does all
his
the
like
brain like bleh.
yeah. I guess that's kind of
That
immature.
that could be that
Or
could
how
be
he
a
acts with the
sign of.
gun. Like he shoots the fucking wall after he dances.
Yeah, and he turns up and he turns the TV up, pretending that it was just a war film that he's watching.
Something a child would do. Covering up
Sorry, I'm just
excuses.
watching. Exactly, making an excuse, not being honest and upfront. It's child mentality.
And also like at the start, he doesn't like swear at all that much. And then like the first time I've noticed him swear, I think he actually swore once while he was chasing those kids who took his sign, but I don't know. Well, the first time I
Yeah, he
actually
says you.
noticed him
He goes
swear,
he goes you fuckers.
yeah,
He goes you fuckers. I
that child
noticed
being
that
mad and
on.
he's trying to swear. I don't know, but he doesn't use any swear words. He's a kind guy, or at least he portrays himself that way to the psychologist at the end. But first time you hear him swear is when he like before he kills his mum. He's oh fuck, I forgot what the quote was. It's not
Do you
the
know? Do you know what I find funny? Do you know what really makes me laugh? I used to think that my life was a
no,
tragedy,
it's before
but
that.
now I've realised. Wait, what scene? Oh, I've never been like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
says
that's it.
happy, and he goes happy. I've never been happy one day in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the one. And he swears. It's
And
like,
then
whoa,
yeah,
he's growing up a bit. That's a bit scary.
and then funny
And he
enough, it's
kills him.
after.
And that's the
Oh no
death
no
of
no no no
Arthur.
no no
That's the death
no
of Arthur
no
when he kills
no
his
no no
mom.
no. He swears before that. I've just remembered the scene where he's in the toilet with Thomas Wayne, and he says, "How about a little bit of fucking decency?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's because he's angry. When children are angry, they do swear. Because they pick it up from other people. Like my brother. My brother's 7. And sometimes he'll swear. It's because they pick it up from other people. Like
And
when
I'd say,
he's asking, he's like a 30-year-old man, and he's asking like a 50 year old man for a hug. He's saying, "How about a hug, Dad?" How about a little bit of fucking decency? And then he goes, "What is wrong with you people? I don't get why you're so rude." People don't say that. Adults don't say that. They go, "Why are you so fucking disrespectful? Or why are you such a cunt?" You know, He's sat there going, "Why you know? I don't get why you so rude. I don't get why people are so rude. You know, how about a little bit of fucking decency?" So yeah, but I get what you're saying when the death of Arthur. I believe personally what the start of the death of Arthur is as soon as he makes his first kill on one of the
Definitely,
Wall
yeah.
Street guys. As
But
soon
the
as he
the
shoots that guy
final
in the head,
death,
he is on a downward spiral. As soon as he
downward
pulls that
spirals,
trigger,
downward spiral.
like, and the death of Arthur is as soon as he reads that fucking his mum's records from Arkham State Hospital. That
I'd
is the
say it's when he
death
kills his mum.
because he
That's the death
changes
of
them.
Arthur. Because he pretty
No,
much
because
killed his
even then,
past.
because he's not. Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not sad when he's in the hospital with his mum, is he? He's showing no fucking emotion.
Or maybe that's
Normally
him
when
killing Arthur. Him killing
before when
himself.
yeah,
But
the
you know what I
battle in
mean?
his head, because even when he was sat in the hospital before with his mum, he was sat head down, quite sad. His mum's in a lot of, she's not very well. And in this time, he was just sat there having a cigarette. But notice, before, he was respectful to the hospital, and he sat outside and had a cigarette. Then he was sat in the hospital room having a cigarette. Because obviously, you're not supposed to smoke in there. Maybe that was his way of de-stressing, because he maybe worked himself up before he was going to did. He was stressed and he needed that to calm down, and to sort of de-stress and think, because then as soon as he puts it out, he has the courage to stand up and kill his mum. Oh, Jesus Christ, a lot to go through.
I'm only like halfway done. And
No. We have, after this, we got 2 more things to go through, and they're quite short, to be fair.
and then after that we have I don't forget I want to add. Oh fuck! I said at the start. What was it? I wanted to add. I wanted to add something, but I forgot what it was.
I cannot remember now.
Fuck! What was it? Stupid.
I really cannot remember.
I wish we wrote it down. Fuck! I wish I messaged you it.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have wrote it down, sorry.
Fuck.
If it comes back to you, we'll do it. If not, then we'll have to cut it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so should we move on to the next
I
one?
think there's still one more theory we need to go through. I don't know how we
Go
could
on
miss
then.
this one. Is he
I'm
adopted or
thinking
not?
too fast here. Oh yeah, is he Yes, the Thomas Wayne cover-up. How could I fucking forget? Right. Okay. I'll go. Right. So I'll say the theory first, and then we'll both talk about if we agree with it or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the film, the Thomas Wayne, Arthur speaks to Thomas Wayne about, because Penny Fleck tells him that he is the son of Thomas Wayne, and that they had a relationship while she worked there. Well, then he had to speak to Thomas Wayne about it, believing that he is his father, which is, as we mentioned, he said, "How about a hug, Dad? How about a bit of fucking decency?" He goes to Wayne Hall, where there is a clown riot out, and they're watching Modern Times with Charlie Chaplin in there, and there's a scene where Arthur breaks in and he's wearing what Daniel mentioned, the red sort of button suit, which is the bellhop suit. And he goes in and he just waits near Thomas Wayne for him to go to the toilet. So then he follows him to the toilet, and he goes up to him and he just says, "Look, I'm Arthur Fleck. I'm Penny Fleck's son. And she told me about you two, and I believe you're my dad." He then turns around and says, "Look, that's impossible. I never slept with your mum, and you're adopted." He doesn't believe him initially, and Thomas Wayne then explains to Arthur that she adopted Arthur while she worked for them at Wayne Manor. She was then arrested and committed to Arkham State Hospital for allowing her boyfriends to abuse her and Arthur, while Arthur was in her care. And she was sent to Arkham State for having delusions, and I can't remember what else she had now.
Schizophrenia. I can't say it. Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia,
Yeah.
something like that. And she was admitted to Arkham State Hospital, which then Arthur then breaks into Arkham. Well, doesn't break into Arkham. He goes into Arkham, asks the administrative assistant, which is basically like a secretary bitch, for the records on his mum. He then takes them, goes down into the stairwell, which we then mentioned, which is the same colour as his suit, red floor, green pipes, yellow walls. He reads the files and sees that he was in fact adopted, but there is there's a adoption sheet, and it shows a flashback scene of his mum sat in Arkham State, talking to a doctor, and he says, your son is adopted, and she goes, that's not true. He is Thomas's son. We both agreed not to be together and to keep it a secret. He helped to forge and to fake the adoption. Obviously, if you think about it, it's Thomas Wayne. In Gotham, you don't go no higher than the Waynes.
Exactly.
And
the
he
richest
has
man
got
in
so
Gotham.
much power. Richest family in Gotham. He's got so much power and so much influence. He could literally do anything. So it's not that hard to believe when Penny says that he helped fake, the thing, because obviously, for appearance's sake, he's married to Martha Wayne. So obviously, for appearances, he's meant to look like a bold, strong man, when in fact he's cheating on her, on Martha Wayne, for a house servant. And in state of appearances, they had to get rid of it, and they had to, because obviously Arthur is the illegitimate son. That is, of course, if this is true, because remember why she is committed to Arkham State Hospital, because of her delusions. But could that also, I don't know, I don't think you've heard of this, I don't know if it was mentioned or anything online. Do you think that Thomas had her committed to Arkham State because of her, even though she had nothing wrong with her? She had no delusions or anything. He just had her committed to Arkham State. Maybe, who knows, maybe he heard of the way that her boyfriends were treating Arthur and her, and had her committed to Arkham State, and Arthur taken back into the care system because he feared for their safety. Maybe, who knows? I just literally thought of that. So, because obviously the police would have had to have gone to investigate. So who tipped them off?
And I think this is interesting because there's two things that could happen. One thing, he is adopted, which is great for the Joker, because that would mean he has no identity. Which is exactly what the Joker is, no identity. And then you have the part where he's related to Bruce, where it would also explain that special bond between Bruce and Arthur. And I kind of dig that. I kind of dig the fact that they don't know they're brothers, but at the same time they feel a special bond, but they're brothers, but they don't know it. But at the same time, I also dig the fact that Joker has no identity. Arthur isn't his real name, and I like it either way.
And I just thought I'd quickly mention this as well. Now that you say Arthur's, when I ask my Alexa, and obviously you know this from the video clip that I sent you, if you watched it,
you can just put it in the podcast.
When I could do it now. Whenever I say, look, I'm not going to say it because then she'll start listening, and I ask, who is Arthur Fleck, she then responds with the Joker from the comics' story. So that could actually give a reference or a hint that Arthur Fleck is actually the real Joker's name. I will do it right now. Alexa, who is Arthur Fleck?
The Joker is a supervillain created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson, who first appeared in the debut issue of the comic book Batman, published by DC Comics. Credit for the Joker's creation.
Stop.
That's interesting, yeah.
That is interesting. That Arthur Fleck, because obviously this is supposed to be what Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix said, a name that has never been mentioned alongside the Joker before. Now, I can't remember, because I swear in the Killing Joke he had a name as well. I think
Doe.
it was Arthur as well.
It was John Doe.
Yeah, sorry. Tell a lie. It was John Doe. Now, there's been John Doe. There has been Jack Napier.
Joseph.
Jerome Valeska, Jeremiah Valeska, Joseph.
So many fucking J's. John, Joseph.
It's weird,
Jay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how their name. But then you've got Arthur Fleck, a name that you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't expect it. You know, you get the J, the Joe,
Slightly
the John,
off topic.
the Joseph.
This is obvious. Everyone's heard this. Arthur Fleck, A. Fleck, Ben Affleck. Just want to point it out. Continue what you were saying.
I just got that. I like that. That's actually really good. But no, it is interesting that the name choice. But Daniel, you wanted to go over something that you remembered what you wanted to talk about.
Oh, have you read? Oh, okay. So one more theory before we move on, which popped into my head. And I take no credit. I saw this on YouTube, completely forgot because I've seen these videos like well over a week ago, so I forgot who did them. But so theory is the whole clown uprising never happened, and it was all in Arthur's head to make him more superior, and there is evidence
I've
to
seen
back
that.
this up. Yeah, you have.
Seen
Yeah,
that one.
so you know, like the whole binman having a strike, which was mentioned at the start. And
Yes,
the whole binman,
yes, I've seen that. I've seen
rubbish.
that one. I think it was New Rockstars.
I have no.
It was either
clue.
that or Film Theorists or New Rockstars.
I don't think it was
Eric
Matt
Voss.
Pack. But yeah, and then Super Rats. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But Thomas Wayne is actually trying to literally clean up the streets of Gotham, as he said in the video. And Arthur is I forgot all the evidence. Maybe you can remember, but he's just trying to make him feel better about himself, and like whenever he smiles, it's fake, and like when he sees that guy with
Make
the clown
himself
mask in
feel
a taxi,
important.
yeah, exactly, make him the star of the show. And
I want to be the star of the show.
and the guy that killed Thomas and Martha with the clown mask never wore a clown mask. And also, when he killed Robert De Niro, aka Murray Franklin, the people of the ambulance crashed into him because they just killed a celebrity that is well loved, so they don't like him, so they crashed into him, and maybe he imagined himself being praised, but what actually happens is that he got beaten up or some shit. But it's Joker, and he's unreliable narrator, and he praised himself as a god.
Maybe
That's a god, that's a bit too much.
Maybe he got himself out of the car and started dancing on the thing, but all of the clowns in bracket marks are actually police officers and SWAT members surrounding him, and he's just hallucinating that they're his supporters, all shouting and cheering at him.
Like
but
when
he's
he
actually just dancing.
hallucinated the laughs from the comedy stand, because we didn't mention that. I just wanted to mention that.
Yes. Yeah, they weren't actually there. He just remembered back that they were there. Sophie didn't even turn up on the fucking night. She wasn't even there. And obviously the joke fades out before we can hear what actually happens and what he actually says, because it plays music and laughter and Sophie smiling and clapping. That never happened.
Yeah.
I did want to mention something, but I cannot remember it now for the life of me.
I got one more thing to say. This is the final thing. I swear, it just came into my head. So I wanted to tell you this earlier, actually, like before you watched the movie. I really wanted to tell you this because it actually referenced Heath Ledger's Joker, which I think is kind of cool. It's not the police car, which everyone's been saying. It's
Oh no, I know
it's
that.
actually kind of like a deleted ending, sort of, and you've probably seen it because I've seen it on YouTube.
Yes, yes. With the blades and the childhood.
Yeah. So when he was
Yes, I know what
originally
you're on about.
gonna get the glass from the police and then cut a smile into his face. So when he used the blood from his mouth to make a face, it was originally gonna be cut open with a smile with the glass. And then
Yes,
after that scene, it would cut to him in the hospital, or with the psychologist, whatever the
and he
fuck she is, and he would have stitches.
psychologist. You got it right.
Oh wow, I'm proud of myself. I'll probably fuck it up
Psychologist,
later.
psychiatrist.
Yeah,
Psychologist, psychiatrist. It's kind of the same thing. So
fucking lady doctor thing, and he would have stitches on his cheeks, where he would cut it.
yes,
But they took that
which then
out because
resemble.
they didn't want it to be related to Heath Ledger. They don't want people thinking he is Heath Ledger's Joker, or they just want to keep it original or unique. I forgot the exact reason, but they took it out because of Heath Ledger. But it is a nod to Heath Ledger, sort of, and they took it out.
And are you going to mention the childhood part?
The childhood part.
Do you remember that?
I think I do.
So would you like me to say?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, go. You probably remember. I sort of
So
remember, but not exactly.
basically,
Go ahead.
when he was on the date with Sophie, he was originally going to have scars already in his face, and when he was on the date with Sophie, he was going to tell the story of his scars, that he always got
Yes, it's
badly
coming back to me now.
bullied,
Yeah.
bullied for his name Happy. So he was gonna cut the scars. He was gonna get a razor blade and cut the scars into his mouth,
It's coming
and say,
back to
"Am
me
I
now.
happy enough for you now?" And say to the other kids at school, "Am I happy enough for you now?" Because he got badly bullied for the nickname Happy. Which is and he was going to tell Sophie that, but obviously they decided to cut that completely. Haha, get the joke, cut that. They got rid of that completely because obviously, as you mentioned, they didn't want it to be related to Heath Ledger in any way. They just wanted it to be original, new, and obviously the scars has already been done, so another reason they wanted to get rid of the scar scene at the end of the film with the police, with the glass on the police car, is because they believed it would be too thingy for a movie, too graphic, seeing
I
a
would have
man
loved to see
cut.
that, to be honest.
I would have loved to have seen it.
We saw it
but
in Gotham with like the fake Alfred cutting a smile on his face.
yeah, we saw it in Gotham. Yeah, actually, that is a point. But, obviously that is a reference to Heath Ledger, cutting the scars. That is obviously a clear reference to Heath Ledger, which I liked. I thought that was a very good reference, actually. Anyway, we do need to move on, because we are pressed for time.
And I think we've covered most of it, or all of it anyway. So.
Yes. So, trivia and behind-the-scenes facts. So, we've already covered some of these. I just want to start one off quickly. That journal that the Joaquin Phoenix has throughout the film, that is actually a journal that Todd Phillips gave to him about 6 months before filming. I think it was 6 months, 6 or 4 months before filming, and he gave it to Joaquin Phoenix and said, right, kind of like what Heath Ledger did with the video journal, where he recorded himself every day doing different voices and things like that. Well, this time it was Joaquin Phoenix, because he didn't need to change his voice or anything. He just wrote down Joker-styled thoughts and jokes, and he actually wrote different twisted jokes. The joke about the knock-knock joke, it's the police. Your son has been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead. That is actually a joke that Joaquin Phoenix came up with. That is a completely original joke. I say joke, but it's funny, but it's not actually funny. And then Joaquin Phoenix came up with that completely. Daniel, your time for a bit of trivia.
I had one in my head. Hold on. It'll come back. Believe me. So you mentioned about him having a book. I think he said in an interview that it's been like it's already been bought by some man in a different country. But yeah,
Yeah, some guy called I can't remember what his name is now.
don't
Yeah,
know.
because
But
they asked him if he has it.
I just want to say it before I forget. But you probably already know this, but I just want to get it out. So the script was designed for Joaquin. Like Todd clearly stated that he only wanted Joaquin to uh, play the role, and Joaquin didn't need to audition, but he insisted because he really didn't want to like be bad in front of the director, and he had a one-on-one audition with Todd Phillips, just him and Todd on his Joker laugh, and just trying to get the right Joker laugh.
Do you know why?
Can't remember because
The
something to do with Todd
reason?
Phillips.
No, it's actually to do with Joaquin Phoenix. Now, Joaquin, when he asked for this personal audition with the Joker laugh, Todd Phillips said, "There's no need, man. You've got the part. You don't need to audition." He said, "I insist because Joaquin Phoenix actually suffers with bad anxiety when it comes to impressing the directors."
Yeah,
Now,
that was it.
it's always in
It's
his
something to do with
mind
Todd, yeah.
that he's not doing a good enough job for the director, and what they could be saying about their performance. So he didn't want to do the laugh just out randomly in front of everybody for the first time. Todd Phillips hearing it, because what he didn't want was for him to do the laugh that he came up with. Todd Phillips say it in front of everybody, cast and crew. I don't like that. I really don't like that laugh. You need to change it, because then that would have made him feel embarrassed. That would have brought his anxiety levels and his, self-confidence. It would have lowered it. So, what he did was he obviously asked Todd Phillips to come over to his house so he could get the laugh perfect.
Which he did, by the way.
Which he fucking nailed. Which he wanted to get it to a perfect standard in Todd's eyes, but because obviously in Joaquin's eyes he feels like he's never going to do a good enough job, which, can we just point out, he fucking did amazingly. But in his eyes,
So,
and
yeah,
to be
so I'm
fair,
a
in the
jerk. I
eyes
say
of
no, they're gonna know I'm lying.
in the eyes of any actor, say you were an actor, Daniel, I'm pretty sure you're always going to have doubts about your performance, ain't you?
Yeah, everyone
You're
does.
going to be thinking, you're going to be thinking, I'm not doing really good
Every
at this.
performer has these doubts.
Yes, but obviously then you've got the people, Todd Phillips, who is watching this fucking wonderful artist creating this masterpiece, and he's sat back and he looks at him and he goes, "Wow, this is great." He made a fucking brilliant choice choosing Joaquin. He made a great choice choosing Joaquin, and Joaquin wasn't so keen on doing the film at first. I hate the awkward silences between when I speak and then transferring conversation.
I just didn't know if I had something to say, but I didn't know if it was relevant, which was just
Go ahead. It's random trivia,
he
so
read the script and he liked the script,
yeah.
so he
Yeah,
chose
that's what changed his mind. He wasn't sure about doing it, because he's not really into the idea of superhero films. And then he read the script and thought, "Wow, I want to do this." Got any trivia? Just random bits of trivia.
The score. It's amazing.
Score.
It's amazing.
Is that
That's
what
all
you were
needs to
gonna
be
say?
said. That's all that needs to be said. The score is amazing. Move on.
Right. Well, Joaquin Phoenix said that perfecting the Joker's laugh was the toughest part of actually playing the character. If you didn't know
Well,
that.
it's the most like when you think of the Joker, you think of the laugh. It is his signature. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I'd say the hard part was trying to make it unique. 'Cause you don't want it to sound like Heath Ledger. You don't want to sound like Mark Hamill, and you definitely don't want to sound like Leto.
I also want to point out that we know in the movie that Joaquin Phoenix is very, very skinny as his role, and he lost 5 pounds, which equates to about 3.5 stone. Which, to be fair, doesn't sound like a lot, but
I got
Joaquin
uncomfortable watching
is
his like ribs just bounce out of his body, like when he's like watching Thomas like report the 3 deaths. It's like you see his
yeah,
ribs, and it's just it's so uncomfortable to look at because you're
but
just imagining yourself like, ew, you can just see his bones, but it's just covered in skin.
like
That's how skinny he
he
is.
what Joaquin did is obviously he lost 3.5 stone, and Joaquin is actually a very skinny man anyway, so losing that was quite obviously to end up as that result. Not as bad as Christian Bale in The Machinist. Daniel, if you don't know what that looks like, I suggest
Yeah,
you look
I've
it up.
seen that. It's
You've seen The
fucking
Machinist. It's
yeah.
disgusting. Leave a picture on your video, but like honestly, it is disgusting. Not as
I
bad
guess
as
here you
that,
can
but
kind
still
of
quite bad.
link to him wanting to gain weight.
Yes, he did. I'm gonna get onto that. Now, Joaquin Phoenix looked up the different medications that Arthur Fleck is on. Though it isn't specified, you could probably find articles about it online, of like where maybe they've said it in an interview. I haven't found anything thus far, but you may be able to find something. I don't know. But in the interviews, he mentions that he wanted to gain weight because reading articles online about the medication, people have gained weight or lost it, and he said that he wanted to gain the weight and have an overweight Arthur Fleck. But then Todd Phillips said, "Nah, it doesn't look right for the character. You know, you need to be skinny, I'm afraid." So he had to lose all that weight.
I'm glad that
Go on.
they went with Todd Phillips's vision. Can you just imagine a fat Joker just dancing down the stairs? It'd be a whole different story.
Here's a bit of I'm googling a bit of trivia now on IMDb. Joaquin Phoenix revealed his favourite part of filming was sassing off Robert De Niro's character Murray Franklin. He stated, "It was one of my favourites, saying Murray. Todd loved that too, and when I did that, I thought, is De Niro just going to throw an ashtray at me?"
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Look, I actually remember some trivia now. He had to like pretend Robert De Niro was Murray because if he just treated him like he was Robert De Niro, he would fangirl and he wouldn't
Yeah.
focus. I just thought that was kind of funny because people would fangirl to him and he's fangirling to Robert De Niro.
I've just found this. Joaquin Phoenix was good friends with the late Heath Ledger, who won an Oscar for his portrayal as the Joker in The Dark Knight 2008. He was friends with... He was good friends with Heath Ledger, and he's taken over his friend's role. That's really... I find that really nice in a way. You know, because, I mean... Okay, really bad example. So when my granddad passed... I got my granddad's, not all of it, some of my granddad's stuff, and my nan said to me, "Well, it's better. He in his eyes, it would be better to go to someone he cares about and loves and knows that it's going to get use out of, than go to someone random that he doesn't know." Well, in this case, it's like Heath Ledger, right, giving away to his role to a good friend, and that he knows it will be in good hands. It's weird. It's just the way I looked at it just then, but you can look at it any way you like.
I mean, I don't like how Leto butchered it, but
Yeah, no, that was a dick. just a dick. I might put letter on the thumbnail with like a gun to his head or something.
no, just
My
get Arthur
daddy
Fleck's
put
finger with a gun to his
my
head, but replace
said,
Arthur
"If you
Fleck
kiss
with
the boy, I'm
Leto.
gonna shoot you." Don't Jared Leto look like a little gay boy? Oh no, shouldn't say that. My daddy put a gun to my head, said, "If you kiss the boy, I'm gonna shoot you dead." So I tied him up with gaffer tape and locked him in the shed. Then I went up to the garden and I fucked my best friend. Anyway, is that all for trivia on your side?
I think so, yeah.
Right. Well, let's move on to the final topic, as you
But
cannot remember the last fucking thing you was
oh,
gonna
I
say.
did. I messaged it to you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I haven't got a notification.
Well, I have it here
Wait,
anyway.
would you like?
So,
Say it. Say it. Say it. Go. 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 Go.
yeah, so
No, I haven't got it.
one thing. So we could talk about like his reaction to the interview from Jimmy Fallon with the whole like outtake which he
The
didn't
Jimmy
expect.
Fallon meme. Jimmy
Oh yeah,
Fallon
oh,
repeat.
or was it Jimmy Kimmel or whatever? The fucking interview
Oh
or
yes, yes,
the
yes. I
outtake.
remember that with the yes, the
We could
outtake.
say other DC villains that could have the same treatment that Joker did, and then also like the future of Joker or Arthur Fleck, which I have a vision for that. Yeah, let's talk about. Shut up, rats! You fucking slut! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Bit
Shut
of
up!
context. Daniel has rats.
Oh, let me put him at the top.
Daniel, we got 10 minutes. We got to wrap this up.
Oh, that's fine. It's been 2 hours. No, let me put him at the top of the cage. Shut the fuck up, rats! Shut up! Shut up!
It's already been 2 hours. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how podcasts normally are. It's a fucking podcast. What do you expect?
Like
Anyway,
this video on my channel. Yeah, you realize the Arkham Knight game froze and it's been on the same screen for ages, but I can't restart the game because it will stop the stream.
I've just been looking at Kenny this whole time.
No, the game's been frozen for like the last hour. I've just been walking around my room. Anyway, carry on what were you saying with the outtake?
Okay, so fuck, where's my phone? So these will be quick to go over through. So, any other DC villains you would like to have the same treatment that Joker did?
What is this? My opinion.
I want to hear yours and I'll tell you mine. Like any other
Okay,
DC villains you'd like to see. Not villains, but
Lex
characters in
Luthor.
general.
Lex Luthor, I think, would be a good one. Yeah, Lex Luthor. Maybe.
You're struggling a bit.
I'd say the Reverse Flash would be a good one. I'm thinking villains currently. Reverse Flash could be a good one. You know, him in the 25th century and why he has such a hatred for the Flash.
I've got
one
a perfect
could
character in
possibly-
mind.
Go ahead.
Perfect. Jason Todd.
Yes, that would be a good one.
And
Holy
that
shit,
could
that
also
would be
link
actually.
with Joaquin's Joker if they wanted to do that. If the Black Label universe or whatever they're fucking doing, I have no idea. Yeah, Jason Todd.
I just call it DC Dark as like
Yeah.
I just call it DC Dark because it's just easier to. But no, that would be a very good one actually.
Jason
Maybe,
Todd,
you know,
Scarecrow, and the Riddler or Penguin. And I did before I watched Gotham, I feel like a Penguin movie wasn't going to be good. But after the season 1 of Gotham of Penguin being the rookie, and at the end he makes his way to the top,
Yeah.
backstabbing and all that. I
You
feel
know,
like they
he-
could do a movie about that.
you know, first episode he's an umbrella boy. Last episode he's the king of Gotham.
Exactly. I
You
feel
know,
like they
it's
could
just-
do a movie of that. So
That
Riddler,
is very good.
Penguin, Scarecrow, and my personal favorite, Jason
But-
Todd.
Of course, for the movies, we need Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin, and we need, fucking Michael.
Danny DeVito
what's
to
his
cover
name?
it.
What's fucking thingy's
Corey
name?
Michael Smith.
That's the one, Corey. I got Michael and then C. Yeah, Corey Michael Smith. Need him as the Riddler in the movie. It would be perfect. Anyway,
Yeah.
Is that? Are you done
And
with
then
that? Can we move
Scarecrow
on to-
would also be kind of cool because you've got like the whole fear toxin and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, and his dad tormenting him and shit like that. That'd be cool. Anyway, last topic, and then we're
Hold on,
done. This one will be pretty quick.
hold
Live
on, I mean,
action Joker comparison.
what about the
This is your favorites.
Should we just skip the whole like interview thing then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could do live
This-
action Joker and then after that, I got like this vision of what I would like to see for the future of Joker, which I'd like to see.
This has to end before 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay, so live
Live action
action
Joker comparison.
Joker comparison.
Say your favourites in order, and then I'll say mine.
Okay, so favorites in order, just live actions, right?
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger, Cameron Monaghan, Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero, and Leto if he counts. I don't know. That's my list.
So, I think mine's roughly the same. Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger, Cameron Monaghan, yeah, it's the same, isn't it? Jack Nicholson, Cesar
Yeah.
Romero. It's the same. Fuck's sake. Okay, let's add Mark
Mark
Hamill.
Hamill.
Mark Hamill would slip in just above Monaghan for me. It would be third.
For me, he would be below Monaghan.
Yeah, just he slips in above. Anyway, right, and then what was the last thing you wanted to do?
Okay, so final thing I wanted to mention, which I kind of had this conversation with Cascade. So imagine, so you know, in this scene where Bruce's parents got killed by someone with a clown mask. Imagine
Yes.
if he grows up to have PTSD from the clown mask with that same makeup. Then, when in the future, when he's Batman, he comes to Gotham. He sees Joker, who is like praised by everyone. He's in Arkham Asylum. He gets broken out by his goons, and he's just following what everyone else is doing, having fun. Maybe like following like Riddler or Penguin, or like just whatever. He's just having fun, just doing whatever everyone else is doing. And then he sees Batman, and then Batman has like this flashback PTSD from like the clown mask of that same makeup, and he gets really fucking scared of Joker. And like Joker recognizes Batman, knows it's Bruce, and like maybe knows they're brothers or not, and knows like, oh, I know your father. I hated him. I hated my father.
You remind me of my father. I hated him. Oh my god.
And literally like can you just imagine how cool that would be in just a future where like he would get excited knowing that Batman is Bruce, and like Bruce would be so fucking scared because of his PTSD from the clown mask, and Joaquin,
and he'd have to overcome his fears.
Yeah, and it would just be so fucking cool. I would just love to see that. And I had this conversation with Cascade, like I said. And one more thing.
Big shout out to Cascade.
Yep, shout out to Cascade. Remember in the Dark Knight where Heath Ledger just said like, do I really look like a guy with a plan? Like in Joker, he's like, do I really look like a clown who was causing an uprising? It's kind of similar. Heath Ledger clearly had a plan, but he had a plan, but Joaquin didn't have a plan. Because as soon as he killed those people, the police were quickly onto him. Police were always onto him.
It's like he just wanted to kill himself or Murray, and then that was it. He didn't have anything to do afterwards. He completed his mission. Whatever happened, and he just went with the flow.
I think he was going to kill himself, but then he changed his mind, and I had this conversation with Cascade, where he saw Murray insult him on the show, and he has that cigarette.
Yes, before he went out.
And then he that was when it started, and he was considering it. And then when he saw his notebook, I hope my death makes more sense than my life. He was like, okay, I think this guy's death is going to make more sense. And then kills him, if you know what I mean. So that's when he decided, when he looked at that line. And yeah, I had that conversation with Cascade. And I just wanted to get that out, because I think that's really cool to notice. And that's a good way to end it off, with a Joker killing Murray.
Yes.
So any other final finishes?
No, I think we covered it all.
Wow, this has been fun.
This has been fun. We've been looking forward to this for ages.
We actually did it. Hopefully recording's not shit, but or the audio, but yeah.
Hopefully. I'm probably gonna export it over like this. I'm probably not gonna edit it. I probably will. I don't know. But yeah, this has been fun, guys. I hope you guys, if you guys stuck around to the end, then thank you very much. And please like and subscribe to both of our channels. And
Links
we hope
in the
to see you
description.
all.
Subscribe to SFM Play.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Stay in Position. And
We'll see you all in the next motherfucking video. Adios, amigos.
goodbye, my boys.